Hello and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs preview show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley as we look ahead to a big weekend for the Monarchs, home and away against the Berwick Bandits. We'll also hear from Mitchell Davey, ex-Monarch, who's taken on Mitchell's Northern Tour, as it's been called, alongside a couple of other guys. Chris Black, who'll be well known to the Monarchs fan, and Stephen, a long-term friend and I think ex-mechanic, and Mitch's as well, as they do a charity cycle in aid of the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund from Ashfield via Armadale down to Shielfield Park on Saturday. But Dave, it's another big weekend ahead for the Monarchs. Obviously, we're coming off the back of our first league defeat at Scunthorpe. So first and foremost, the first job is to get 3 points on the board on Friday night.
Yeah, another, as you say, it's vitally important we just get right back on that horse again and then pick up the 3 points Friday, look to go to Berwick and Bolton, take some points. It's always an interesting challenge with Berwick. I mean, for years and years, they've came to Armadale and took very little, but they've had a little bit more success last few years with a couple of unusual meetings and things like that. But so there will always be a challenge with a couple of guys with lots of Armadale experience, and obviously we go to Berwick, and I think we had a few hidings there recently, so it'd be good to go and pick up a point or two there. But first and foremost, Friday night, pick up that 3 points and that big clash against the Berwick Bandits.
Yeah, as you say, gone are the days where Berwick head north expecting a hiding and looking to put 35 or close to 40 respectable score. And we'll hear from their team boss, Gary Funt, a little bit later on, just about their hopes for the weekend as well. Dave, if you look at the Monarchs lineup, obviously we're into a new month now, we're into July. That means one change, and the change comes at reserve and one switch. Kai Thompson, who actually doesn't even have a new average yet, so for no fault of his own, will move to reserve. Will Lawson's averages went up above Kai's now. So a straight swap. Willie into the number 3 slot, Kai into reserve. And it's always hard to tell. I mean, this isn't the kind of move that will affect Willie in any way, shape or form with regards preparation or his mindset. And it could just be the thing that turns some of these nearly big scores into a big score for Kai.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, Willie up to 4.09, and remember when he went into the main body of the team back in 2019, he then went and had his best meeting for us. So as you say, these sort of things don't necessarily matter to him. It's all about getting his mindset and preparation and getting off that start and getting himself competitive. We know he's shown his capabilities this season. We know what he is capable of, full stop. But he's shown that he can do it if he can get himself competitive on the way into that second, third bend, and it's there. And for Kai, well, it's maybe a little blessing. He'll get into that heat too. But you want him just to forget that as well. Forget about these are going to be easier races. Just take the same attitude he's done every meeting he's been to so far this season. If he does that, he'll be fine and he'll score some decent points at reserve.
Yeah, elsewhere, of course, we'll be looking for the top 3 to lead us, as they've done pretty much every meeting so far this year. You know, Sam, Richie and Josh have all been exceptional. But, you know, Josh now adding away heat 15 wins to his repertoire down at Scunthorpe the other week, as well as home ones now. You know, Sam hates Scunthorpe for whatever reasons, had his one bad meeting, and Richie back on form that weekend, and we've seen good scores from him in the Premiership since then as well. And the Berwick team's probably one that's built more on strength and depth. Yes, you know, we all know how good Aaron Summers can beat Armadale. Nikolai Bush-Jakobsen, weird enough, I think his best ever meeting was maybe his debut meeting. I seem to remember a 12 or a 13 with Rye House that he's maybe never been able to replicate. But you would expect and hope, maybe certainly at Armadale on Friday, that our top guys should be able to lead the way. And that's no offence to the Berwick team, but they're built on strength and depth, and everyone being roughly in and around the same averages, whereas we've got that power at the top end, and you would hope and expect it should be another big points haul for our top 3.
Yeah, and it may well have to be. We know we've had our meetings this season where, despite having the best 3 riders in the meeting, we've ran 10, 11, 12 last places.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to be going down that way, but as you say, Berwick do have that strength and depth, so there will be some, we will run some last places. That's the nature of the way our team's built, but I think with Sam, Richie, and Josh, we should build up a comfortable size from those guys, and I think the others are capable of picking up. I mean, as you say, Berwick have got a couple of guys in there, but they've got a couple of guys who do struggle around the Dale as well. So
Yeah.
I think our team should be all looking to pick up decent points on Friday night.
Yeah, and then from a Berwick point of view, it will be a long-awaited debut for Casper Anderson, a guy that's rode very well at Armadale in the past for Redcroft. He was due to make his debut a couple of weeks ago before the rain interfered, and then makes his debut. And that means for the first time this season, Berwick will actually have a full 1-7. And while some could argue they maybe benefited in places from rider replacement due to the form of Leon Flynn, I'm sure everyone in that Berwick team will be glad to get back to full strength and actually probably takes the pressure off a few of the guys a little bit. And as we'll hear when we speak to Gary, actually maybe allows Gary Flint to have a bit of tactical sort of input rather than just looking at who's available to fill slots in the programme.
Yeah, you do want to have all 7 riders on track. I mean, as you say, sometimes it does come to your benefit with a guest or a rider replacement, but you want your own seven riders on track. It's a shame Cody Garcia's situation, and obviously we wish him and his family well. But Casper's now here, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. As you say, he's had a couple of cracking Armadale meetings in the past. I don't know quite how many meetings he'll have had himself. I'm sure he's maybe had 1 or 2 in Denmark. I don't think he's had any in UK. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, Graham. But so it'll be an interesting night for him. We all know Jai Etheridge can score points at Armadale, make himself incredibly difficult to pass, and that'll be his ambition again there. And Leon Flint and Kyle Bickley are both building on there. So, and certainly in Flint's case, now he's had that opportunity at the Premiership level, and he's grasped it with both hands there. So I expect him to be going good guns on Friday night too.
Yep, and Berwick, of course, will head to Armadale on the back of being the first team to take anything at Scunthorpe this season. And that was a big boost to the Bandits, as team manager Gary Flint will tell us now.
So Gary, I guess kind of like for most teams, there's a few coulda, woulda, shoulda so far this season, a few matches where you think could have done better, but a good weekend last weekend for the Bandits, the first team to take anything away from Scunthorpe, and you'll be hoping for more of the same at Armadale on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. We've been close a few times on our travels, and a bit of luck here and a bit of luck there. We would have maybe got more from them, but Friday at Scunthorpe, it was one of them meetings where it was an odd one, because any team could have won it at any time. Really, it was nip and tuck all the way through, and we were pleased to come away with a point. I think a draw would have been a fair result, to be honest, but it was good to see our boys back battling and being the Bandits that we know they can be.
Yep, I'm looking ahead to this weekend. You'll correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it'll actually be the first time you'll have a full 7-man team out this season, which I guess, it takes a bit of pressure off some of the guys and actually allows for you as a team manager to maybe actually look at a bit more tactical options rather than just sort of filling names in and making sure everyone's ready to do their 5 rides.
You're right. It's going to be a rare treat for us, I think. It's been a strange old start.
You need to remember.
That's it. A few of the boys will be happy that they don't have to fit extra tyres, that's for sure. But we can't wait to get Casper here. He was obviously due to make his debut against Glasgow. That got washed out, and he had a Danish fixture that he was obliged to do on Saturday, and we couldn't get him back out to Denmark in time, so we had to revert back to the original 1-7. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to get him here, and he goes quite well at Armadale as well. So it's perfect timing, really.
Yeah, and you mentioned Casper does have a good record at Armadale. If you look at the Berwick team, there's plenty of Armadale experience meetings wise, but I guess it's a bit of an up and down track. Guys like Jai and Danny have had good meetings there and bad. Obviously, Leon been a revelation this year. He's maybe yet to put it all together at Armadale, but anything can happen come Friday night, and it's a clean slate for everyone, as you say, starting at Heat 1. Nothing nothing's won from previous performances.
No, that's right, and I suppose the plus side to it is the Monarchs haven't ridden there, last week either. So it could possibly be a clean slate for them as well. And it's going to be a battle. It's a local derby, and we're no longer the team that go there and beforehand the Bandits would go and the Monarchs would be expecting to put 60 points on them. In the past few years, it's been nip and tuck, and we'll certainly be coming on Friday night to do exactly the same thing. Like you say, Casper's got a good record there. Aaron, Nikolai goes well around there as well. So if Leon carries on his form down at the bottom of the reserves, then it should be pretty close, and it's certainly something we're excited for anyway.
Yep. And I guess maybe taking the team manager's hat off for a second and looking at it from a personal point of view, it must just be so pleasing to see how Leon's went this season. We all know, and he's been pretty public in saying that last year it was a horrible year for everyone, but it didn't go the way Leon wanted it with the rides he did on the continent. So to come in this year, we've seen him under 19 qualifiers on the podium, winning races on Eurosport. I believe somebody told me it was 15-1 to win that race on the bookies before he went out in it. So I hope some of the Berwick boys were on that. And it must just be so pleasing for yourself, obviously being part of Berwick Speed for so long, but as a dad, just to see how he's matured and how he's progressing this season.
Oh, that's it, definitely. He's, like you say, he's worked extremely hard over the winter, and I think he's kind of taken a bit more grip of it himself, and doesn't feel like that it's a given for him. He come up through the ranks a little bit under the radar, but still was winning championships in youth, and then went to Birmingham and was scoring big points really, really early on. So maybe in the back of his mind he thought it was going to be a little bit easier than it was, and realised it hasn't, and knuckled down and done what he's got to do. And everyone that's seen him this year can see it's definitely paying off for him. So that's great that he's realised that's what he has to do. He's got to work at it, and like you say, I'm incredibly proud of him, and it's good for us as a club as well.
And then finally, I'll put you on the spot. We ask this question to pretty much everyone we get on or use for this. A score prediction for Friday?
I'll say a 46-44 to the Bandits.
There we go. Always like that. A bit of confidence from an away man. I'm sure we're not looking for stuff for Alex Harkis and John Campbell to pin up on the changing room walls or anything like that. No. Perfect. Well, Garry, thank you very much for your time, and I know I'm certainly looking forward to a big weekend, both at Armadale on Friday and then down at Shielfield on Saturday. I know tickets are available now for both fixtures, obviously for Friday on the Monarchs website and for Saturday on the Berwick website. So we do say everyone get on there, get them as soon as possible, because two big crowds expected at both. Garry Flint, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Garry Flint there, Dave, obviously gone are the days, as rated there, gone are the days where Berwick come up to Armadale just looking to keep it respectable. They're coming up with a job to do, and I guess the flip side of that is for the What the Fork Monarchs, our job is to make they go home with, I don't know, a burger, a sausage roll, a pie, whatever, but no points on the board. They can't eat, and I thank you and well done for your efforts on the way down the road.
Just go away with a shell in their hair, yeah, that's not bad. But when it's a shortened season this season, as we know, we don't want to be gifting any team's points, so it's important not just to take 3 points at home, but to make sure the opponents go away with nothing. We've done that a couple of times this season now. Let's go and do that. Make sure we hit that 49 point. Give nothing to Berwick. I think we're capable of scoring higher than that. However, that's the target. That's what you aim for. We are capable of doing that. Get some cracking racing in there as well. That's what we all want to see. We all want to see some excitement, but get the What the Fork Monarchs winning over the line as well.
Yep, and of course we mentioned it at the start of the show. Also happening this weekend, the Monarchs head down to Shielfield on Saturday. So we should say before I mention that, of course, that tickets are available for the match on Friday night, Armadale, on the EdinburghMonarchs.co.uk website. If you can't make it along, as always, the match will be streamed. Pick that up from the EMTV link on there. We head to Berwick on Saturday. Again, an all-ticket affair, and as we record this, tickets are still available from the Berwick website for that. And three guys that will be making a bit of an unusual trip to Berwick on Saturday are Mitchell Davey, Chris Black and Stephen Lees. They're taking on a cycle on aid of the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund, starting off at Ashfield via Armadale and then down to Berwick. Dave, good luck to them, and more fool them for trying it, rather them than me. But we caught up with Mitchell Davey a little bit earlier on just to give us a bit of background into what's happening and how, if you haven't already, you can get involved and sponsor. So Mitchell, it's just a couple of days now till the big cycle. Yourself and your merry men from Ashfield to Armadale to Shielfield Park. How's the training going, and are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's training's been going good. And starting to look forward to it now. Getting a bit nervous all the same time, as I guess a lot of sort of self pressure to make sure you can actually do it. But we put in the work, so feeling relatively good, feeling happy on the bike. So that's what, hopefully we get some good weather and can just enjoy the day and make it there in one piece.
Yeah, I mean, and it is there to try and do the benefit, the Benevolent Fund. And after all, so how are you these days with your injuries and things? Are they all completely over them? And
that's what for the best part. The cycling's sort of had a bit of an impact on my right knee from my crash back in 2013. But if you can manage it all right, it's not too bad. But for my last crash in 2018, everything's feeling good. If anything, I think doing all this training's sort of helped my lung again, like sort of go through the process of working hard, getting used to working hard, and but I'd say for the most part, the body feels good. So just happy to be doing something for the Ben Fund after they've helped me.
Yeah, and you mentioned that there. Obviously, we know obviously that crash in 2018 and the Ben Fund, among others, were a big help. But where did the idea for this as the cycle come up? I know you wanted to do something, but what made you decide that? I guess it must be about 120 miles or so. Is that about your distance?
Yeah, that's what Google Maps, like if you type it in, has it at about 112, I think. But by the time we got a couple of diversions that we need to do on the day. So yeah, we reckon we'll probably rack up about 120 on the day. But yeah, that's what the cycling thing. I think it was Chris. Chris got a bike and he started cycling to work. So I was out walking the dogs, just sort of thinking about like ways that I could get fit again. Obviously I haven't raced since my crash, so I'd had a few too many lockdown beers. So so the beer belly was appearing, so I was like, I need to get rid of it. So yeah, just I love going out, just riding my bike and having fun. I used to just, if it was a nice day, I would just grab the bike out and go and ride like 25k or something like that, and just have fun, go to like a little downhill trail. But yeah, that's what spoke to Chris, and I was like, do you think it's possible? And he's like, well, with the right training and preparation, I don't see why not. So yeah, within a couple of hours, I'd written an A4 page of what was going to happen, what I wanted to do, and admittedly, there was more lockdown beers that night. But the idea was born. I sent it to Chris and sent it to Stephen, and said, do you want to do it with me? So that's how they got roped in. Glutton for punishment, then pair. But that's what the idea sort of came about. And yeah, I've always wanted to, return the favor to the Ben Fund for obviously the help they did. So yeah, it was sort of an idea that came about in 24 hours, and yeah, picked a date and off we went.
Fantastic. And it's the reality this week, after all the planning and everything, it's we're all good to go and everything prepared. And anybody especially you want to thank about as you prepare for weekend?
Yeah, there's loads of people, you know, but like the main ones, obviously Chris and Stephen, you know, for jumping on board and going through the training process with us. Got to thank my wife Donna. She's put up with me. I haven't made dinner for weeks now because I'm training most nights. But yeah, just, you know, everyone who's donated, you know, it's massive. You know, I didn't expect to obviously raise as much as we have so far. But yeah, I got to say a big thank you to obviously Edinburgh Monarchs Speedway Club, Glasgow Tigers, and also the Berwick Bandits for jumping on board with the idea, letting me ride around like each of their tracks. And, you know, they've all donated a race jacket as well, which after the day, going to get signed by each team's 1 to 7. Sorry, each team's 1 to 7, and raffle them off to make some more money for the Ben Fund. And each club has been super helpful and really jumped on board with it.
Yep, and you mentioned there, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your initial target was 1,500. That's been smashed. It's now looking to go up the way, and obviously the cycle takes place on Saturday, but still plenty of time to donate. So, you know, for anyone watching, we'll post the links up, but where would be the best place to go? So people that haven't yet, or maybe thought, oh yeah, I want to do that and they've forgotten, can pop their hand in their pocket and help the Ben Fund and G you guys on a bit with a bit of sponsorship cash.
Yeah, that's it. I think we're pushing on. I think on the donation page is on Just Giving. You should search for Mitchell's Northern Tour. But alternatively, you can find the link on my Facebook racing page, my Instagram, my Twitter. But yeah, that's what I think we're pushing close to $2,000 on it now, which is exceptional. So yeah, if we can just keep smashing the figure out of the park, it's awesome. Alternatively, you can donate via text message directly to the Ben Fund by texting SRBF to 70085. Automatically donates £5 to them. Alternatively, via their website, you can find a PayPal link if that's what you prefer to do. We also had people give cash donations as well. So you know, that's been massive, and it's all adding up. And I'm going to be overwhelmed, I think, at the end of it all by how much we've raised.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You just remind me, I need to get my finger out and get on there tonight as well. I'll be on that Just Giving site once we're finished here. No, it's brilliant. And in terms of your timescales for the weekend, if anybody's able to, is it possible for people to cheer you on at any point of the ride?
I guess it would be. We are doing a lot of back roads, sort of staying off the main roads where we can. We leave Glasgow at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're hoping to be at Armadale for around 8:45 to complete our lap there. So I mean, if there's anyone local there, I think John's coming down to the track, or Gordon or Graham's coming down to let us in. So I don't see them having a problem if they people want to come in and give us a cheer. And then we're pretty well back roads. We're riding along sort of the Union Canal through Edinburgh city centre up to Musselburgh, and then we're on sort of back roads, farm roads from there a lot of the way to Berwick. A few times we cross the A1. So if you see us on your way down to watching the speedway, give us a toot. We'll wave, or at that point we might be crying. But yeah, that's what we'll definitely be out there. I'll probably do a few like Facebook lives and things like that along the way too. So to keep everyone updated on where we are.
Yep, sounds good, Mitch. And of course, the Monarchs are at Shielfield on Saturday night, so hopefully there'll be a big contingent of both Monarchs and Bandits fans there to cheer you over the line. And I think I said when you first announced it, if you're there in time, I don't know what time you're due to be there, but the first fight in the black and gold will be on me, Mitch. Well done for doing this.
Yeah, I think they're aiming to be there for around 6:30, so just before parade. Hopefully they'll let us on the track and complete our lap. I definitely don't want to be lining up for Heat 1 with the boys. That's for sure.
I was going to say, you could be there with Sam and Nathan up against, I guess it'll be Jai.
Yeah.
And
I might touch the tapes on purpose in that one.
Well, Mitch, absolutely fantastic effort so far. All the best for Saturday. As I say, I'll see you there. Well, weather permitting. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
hope
like
you
it's
get
turning
better
in the right
weather
way
than
for
that.
us.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for that one. But yeah, no, thanks very much for having me on and helping promote the ride.
So, Dave, a great cause, a great effort by the boys, and fingers crossed for them for the weather. As I say, Mitchell gave all the details there. If you haven't already donated, please do so. We'll put the links up on the social media as well, and then it'll all be linked through Mitchell's social media. And if technology isn't your thing and you're not a big fan of sort of donating that way, you can do it, as we say, via text message, or I'm sure Mitchell will take any cash donations, and we all know that those will go straight to the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund. And I believe some more fundraising efforts to come. There's some race jackets that will be signed and go up, as Mitchell mentioned, and a few other things to come. So keep an eye on Mitchell Davey's social media for any more details. But a truly tremendous effort there to raise already, before they've even taken off, over $2,000 for the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund, Dave.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's totally huge kudos to Mitchell, because that's the whole ethos of the Benevolent Riders Fund, is that they help guys when you need it. So Mitchell has needed that in the past, and it came good for him. And now that he's, as he says, got over those kind of injury troubles, he's perhaps not going to throw his leg over a bike in anger again, other than his push bike on Saturday. But it's great to see that that's helped him, and that now he's putting back in and helping him back. So that's my first protocol when we finish this interview tonight. Get on his Just Giving website and send a few pounds his way. So if you've not done it yet, I'd say go and do it. It's for a fantastic cause, and well done to the guys involved.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see.
I was going to say good luck to them. They've not actually achieved it yet, so fingers crossed we see them at Shieldfield at 6:30 on Saturday night. That's
it. Yeah, I say hopefully that'll be the second biggest cheer of the night from a Monarchs point of view. Is when those guys arrive, the biggest one being after Heat 15 and 4 points Clegg for the Monarchs. But we'll see on that. Dave, before we go, it wouldn't be a What the Fork Monarchs preview show without Mike Hunter's blast from the past. And this week we're not going too far back, but as you touched on earlier on, some riders in that Berwick team that can drop out and give the Monarchs a moment. And we'll see that then, as we've got a race here involving Mark Riss, Max Clegg, Danny Gapmeyer and Joe Lawler.
Heat 14, Mark Riss, Danny Gapmeyer, Max Clegg and Joe Lawler. And Gapmeyer's made the start. Could he become the first Bandits race winner? Here comes Clegg round the outside. Still a bit unconvincing. Lawler's done what he's done in every race, which is pull off the track. Look at Clegg here though, this is far more like it from the Monarchs Reserve. Going right round the dirt. Just not quite getting it right, but close. Here he goes again. Nearly. And he's trying it again. Showing a lot of bravery. Maybe this time. Neck and neck with Gapmeyer. This is a good effort by Clegg. Is he going to get there? No, he isn't. Oh dear, what happened at the end there? But it was a terrific effort. So Danny Gapmeyer gets a race win for the Bandits, but the most hopeful thing from the home side's point of view is that was Max Clegg's most spirited effort of the season.
So Dave, we'll be hoping not too many repeats of that on Friday night from the Austrian. He's had his moments at Armadale and other nights where he maybe hasn't quite got to grips with the place, so we'll see how he goes. If you want to see how he goes, then of course the easiest way to do that is buy your tickets. You can get them online, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. If you can't make it along, then that stream is available. Again, the Monarchs website, then click on that EMTV link. But until, I guess, Saturday morning when we're back with the review of all the action, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.